Home Automation System. Chapter 1. Modern man is basically sleepwalking if he is not multitasking. His lifestyle has evolved in such a way that optimizing time is the most important thing. Home automation is the integration and control of lighting, security, multimedia, climate control, and other electronic systems with within a household. It is a subset of building automation with particular focus on living spaces in a scale of apartment or a family house. The main purpose is to make everyday life more comfortable, safe, and energy efficient. Devices in smart homes are interconnected into a network and controlled by specialized software called control system. It connects to the devices, monitors their state, and reacts to events. The control system performs many tasks associated with the household instead of the residents, enabling them to spend more time on matters that are really important. Research of home automations thus gained significant importance, but until recently, it has been neglected in the shadow of industrial automation and building automation focusing on office spaces. This thesis discusses general consideration and technologies involved in a home automation system. This thesis covers the range of the development of the project, including the concept of the system, the technology involved in the implementation, and the prototype product developed. Chapter 2. Literature Survey. SS Designing a Home of the Future, IEEE Pervise Computing Volume, published on April to June uh, by GD About and ED Minot. Microcontroller based remote monitoring using mobile through spoken commands by N.P. Jawahar V. Ahmed plus one author R. Tarke, published in 2nd January 2008. Design and construction of a wireless based electrical appliance control system. Ojo Ko Odunzi E.C. Liquid crystal for twisted pneumatic display devices by George W. Gray and Stephen M. Kelly. Mobile Messages Services and Communication Policy, written by Gerard Gogin and Christiana Spurgeon, published online in 23 Jan 2007. The Global System for Mobile Communication, The Hidden Influence of Standards in Text Messaging and Wireless Communication by Amelia Acker in 3rd August 2013. Remote controlling of home appliances using mobile telephony. Rifat Shariar, Enumal Hoque, S.M. Sohan, Iftekhar Namin, M.D. Mustafa Akbar, and Mazad Karim Khan. Chapter 3. Problem Analysis. Aims and Objectives. To develop a cost-effective method for controlling and activating home appliances remotely. This system should work easily in most places where a house may exist. There would be there would have to be two-way communication to ensure that the messages had been received. The system would also have to be affordable and easy to use. Explain possible actual benefits for home automation system. Demonstrate the possibility of an ubiquitous access to the home network using actual technologies. Propose a standardized remote controlled home automation architecture. Encourage user-friendly interface development. Organization of thesis. The thesis analyzes the home automation system domain and conceives ideas for a home appliances controlled by SMS through microcontroller in easy to use and secured manner. Following is the structure of the report. Describes on the introduction and brief information of the thesis subject. It includes a review of the previous work and short definitions of the components used in the thesis project. This chapter briefly describes on the thesis objectives. Gives an overview of the brief definition of home automation system and different types of automation, different appliances controlled by the system. It also gives the comparison among different technologies used in home automation. Gives the detailed description of hardware components used in this thesis project. Example microcontroller, GSM model, SIM holder, LCD display, and power supply. Gives description of software components of this thesis project. It gives the detailed description of PIC Basic Pro, PIC Basic Pro compiler, Epic Programmer, Epic Win, and advantages of this program. Deals with the methodology used in this thesis project. It also gives the detail about the prototype development. It includes the flowchart of the research methods, block diagrams of the project, assembling of the hardware, and development of the system. Briefly discuss the results, which includes the testing of hardware and software part of the prototype and its functioning. Deals with discussion on achievement on the main objectives as mentioned in the chapter 1. The home automation system is met the objectives which are developed master software that capable of integrated remote control and monitoring of appliances and device via the SMS. Offers conclusion from the performed study and provides proposals for future work.
Chapter 4. Proposed Solution. Home Appliances Control System. Intelligent Home. The area of intelligent home or also home automation, building automation of domains. The term intelligent houses, home automation, and building automations are used to describe same things. Here follows our definitions. As we can see, the definition is quite different, but still we are same kind of consequence about the basic proposal and goals and motivations for intelligent houses. A house automation system is component of event which have, however, use interface such as SMS to interact when necessary with the various system. Meanwhile, the most old house is has to be linked to the automation microcontroller subsystem. Like coding systems control communicate with automation system view subsystems. Like some of the appliances are simple, it not always feasible to be a physical near to house. Still, something it's very important to control the appliances of many purpose. There exist a number of available media to remote communications. Internet good example of types of remote communications. The internet places a virtual no bounds on geographical placements and in the consider enough. SMS and other enhanced transfer protocol like GPRS and EDGE at the reliable low price and wide variety of places. Types of home automation control. The new stream, the automation home information systems has developed into the vast one and current market. Individual control devices. It is a type of perhaps the first on it the market is early. Here the device like a heater or AC like something else. Distributed control system. The main feature of this the type of system is emergency shutdowns. Rest of the features are nearly controllable. The central control system. These are computerized systems programmed to handle all the functions of multiple utilities like AC, heater, home, entertainment, those like example. Appliances usually control lighting, fan, air conditioner, and other district devices. Probably the most popular controller category and give the way to get involved with the home automation. Security systems and access control. It is basically additional VTS products include devices that allow unlocking the front door to let the friends will close the garage from office view the way. Phone system. The phone system that is usually used for a small business with the beds of surprisingly with the caller ID and the home automation controller. And the irrigation. Sparkles can be turned only when it's not raining weather. Even a sprinkle or not motion of yard the unknown time. Here is the comparison of different technology and used for home automation. Next, the three areas where we meant to represent the different reason why the intelligent houses might attract customer. Saving cost and environment and energy. Second one is the making everyday life easier. Third one is making the house seems luxurious and high tech. Chapter 5 Methodology. In the previous chapter, the theoretical concept behind the home automation system were discussed. The goal of the chapter is present final system specification of the proposed home automation system. Design overview. This session briefly discusses all over the project designs, including the overflow of activities devices. It's like a microprocessor PIC GSM modules. It is described by writing the PSI microcontroller. The process of send the described actions to the overloaded devices. The second breaks the back SMS to the user about the present status of all the devices. Here's some. Here's the diagram of the project development flowchart. It's a flowchart, project development flowchart. Next is the block diagram of the project, the transmitter and receiver unit. Next, flowchart of function devices. Uh, Here's the diagram of PCB layout. hardware implementation. The complete systematic diagram of the project shown in the PCB layout, where all the hardware such as GSM modules and PS6477A microcontroller, GCD display and sensor are combined together. The hardware implementation part will be discussed by the following session. Next, we are seeing the systematic diagram of the project, the PSI. PIC 16F8 microcontroller. PIC is the family of hardware architecture microprocessor made by the microchip technology derived from the PSI. PIC 650 originally developed by the General Instrument Microelectronic. Features of PS microcontroller. PIC 16 microcontroller is high-speed flash controller. The core feature of PIC 16F877A is high performance is the best key. Then the operating system speed is like a terribly fast. DC 20 mHz the clock inputs. 8 level deep hardware stack. The power of the timer it's like a different thing. The wide operation voltage range 2 to 5 volt. Really the particular feature of the PIC 16787 are the timer 1, timer 2. It's differently based on the bits timer counter with the 8-bit prescale, 10 bits multi-channel analog to digital converter. So next one is GSM module SIM 300CZ. A GSM module is the wireless module that works with the GSM wireless network. A wireless module sends the receiver data to the radio activities. Next, the interfacing of microcontroller with GSM modules. It's a diagram. Next the interfacing of microprocessor with GSM modules. The interfacing circuits is used to match the voltage level between the GSM modules and the microcontroller and microcontroller operates on plus 5 voltage whereas the GSM modules on 3.93 volts. Then its functions SMS is a call. This SMS sends to a microcontroller which receives, compiles and compare it and store the program. This message is corrected by accordingly liquid crystal display LCD. Let's talk about LCD. The liquid crystal display LCD is electronically moduled optical devices shaped into a thin flat panel made up of a number of color monochrome pixels filled with the liquid crystals. The interfacing microcontroller with LCD. The diagram is the interfacing of microcontroller diagram is there. Then we can see the interfacing circuit, the microcontroller of LED. The interfacing circuit with the load relay. The four load devices are connected to the microcontroller 27, 28, 29, 30. Then the functions of devices, the steps of functions of the devices. The devices is switched on by power switch. The device's status is indicated by blinking of LED. At the beginning of LED blinking, the network searching the blinks slowly. Next one is if the message is corrected accordingly, the microcontroller programs the microcontroller sends to the instruction to the. Then the chapter 6 this is some technology. Sandeep.
Okay. Chapter 6 Resource and Techniques Hardware Components Microcontroller. A microcontroller is an inexpensive single chip computer. Single chip means that the entire computer system lies within the confines of the integrated circuit. The microcontroller existing on the encapsulated silver of silicon has features and similarities to our standard person computers primarily. The microcontroller is capable of storing and running a program. A microcontroller ability to store and run unique programs. makes it extremely versatile. For instance, a microcontroller can be programmed to make decision and selection. Its ability to perform math and logic function allowed it is to mimic sophisticated logic and electronics circuits. Other programs can make the microcontroller behave like a neural circuit or a fusel logic controller. Microcontrollers are responsible for the intelligence is most smart devices on the consumer market. In any hobbyist electronics magazines article that features the use of microcontrollers either directly or embedded inside a circuit design. Microcontrollers are used in wide number of electronic systems such as engine management system in automobiles, keyboard of a PC, electronic measurement instrument, printer, mobile phones, television radios, CD players, and tape recording equipments, hearing aids, security alarm system, fire alarm system, and building service system, remote control of office machines, appliance power tools, and toys. Components of microcontroller: the CPU core ranging from simple 4-bit processor for sophisticated 32 by 64-bit processor, memory, some parallel digit input output. Most microcontrollers will also combine other devices such as a time module to allow the microcontroller to perform tasks and certain time periods, a serial input output port to allow data to flow between the microcontroller and other devices such as PC or another microcontroller. Microprocessor CPU. A microprocessor is programmed to digital electronic components that incorporates the function of a central processing unit into a single IC package. It consists of arithmetic logic unit, program counter, stack pointer, and register. The main function of CPU are the ability to execute a stored set of instructions to carry out user-defined tasks, the ability to be able to access external memory chips to both read and write data from and to the memory. Memory in a microcontroller, read-only memory. ROM memory can be ROM, EPROM, EEPROM. This memory that can only be read the data being stored in the memory device during its manufacture. Once data has been write onto ROM memory, it cannot be easily removed and it's designed for read-only use. ROM is refers to as being non-volatile as is retained its content even when the power is turned off. Random access memory. All microprocessor systems need memory that can be both read from and written to such memory in RAM. RAM got its name because early read-write memories were sequential and did not allow random access. Random access memory is used to store dynamic data. RAM takes the form of integrated circuits that allow the stored data to accessed in any order, that is, at random and without physical movement of the storage medium. The input output ports. A number of digital bits formed into a number of digital inputs or outputs called a port. These are usually 8 bits wide and thus referred as byte wide port. Byte wide port, byte wide output port. Embedded design. The majority of computer systems in use today are embedded in other machinery, such as automobiles, telephones, appliances, and peripherals for computer system. These are called the embedded system. While some embedded systems are very sophisticated, many have minimal requirements for memory and program length within no operating system and low software complexity. Interrupts. It is mandatory the microcontroller provide real-time response to event in the embedded system they are controlling. When certain events occur, an interrupt system can signal the processor to suspend processing the current instruction sequence and to begin an interrupt service routine. Program microcontroller program must fit in the available on-chip program memory, since it would be costly to provide a system with external expansible memory. Compile and assembly language are used to some high-level language program into compact machine code for storage in the microcontroller memory. Other microcontroller features. Since embedded processors are usually used to control devices, they are sometimes need to accept input from the device they are controlling. This is the purpose of the analog digital converter, since processors are built to interrupt and process digital data. PIC microcontroller. PIC is a family of hardware architecture microcontroller made by microchip technology, organically developed by General Instrument Microelectronics Division. The name PIC initially referred to peripheral interface control. The word size of PIC can be source of confusion. All PIC handle data in 8-bit chunks, so they should be called the 8-bit microcontroller. However, the unit addressability of the code space is not generally the same as the data space. Stacks. PIC have a hardware called stack, which is used to save return address. The hardware stack not software accessible to earlier devices, but is changed within 80 series devices. Usage in mobile phone standard. The use of SIM card is mandatory in GSM devices. The equivalent of SIM is UMTS, called the Universal Integrated Circuits card, which runs a name UASM application where the removable user identity model is more popular CDMA based devices. The UICC card is still colloquially referred to as SIM card. Integrated Circuit ID, ICCID. Each SIM is internationally identified by its ICID. SIM cards and are also encoded or printed on the SIM card body during a process called personalization. Authentication key. The key is okay. Authenticating key. The key is 128-bit value used in authenticating the SIM on the model network. Each SIM holds a unique key assigned to it by the operating during the personalization process. The key is also stored on the database. Software components. PIC Basics and PIC Basics Pro Compiler. PICB Basics is a microcontroller developed by Compile Technology and is programmed in a form of the Basics language. Programmed list of the hexadecimal number that run of PIC Basic Pro program. Uploading the machine code into the microcontroller is the job of Epic programmer board and software. Supports microchips PIC 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, and 18 microcontrollers. True Compiler provides faster program execution and longer program basic interrupts. PBP generated codes. A PIC Basics Pro TM compiled program is built in several stages. First, PBP creates the ASM files. It then builds a customs. The library files. PCP include a set of library files. That set contains all of the code defined files. Group of microcontroller. In the case of 14-bit for PIC mics, the files start with the name PBPPIC14. Chapter 7 Solution. The chapter comprises the performance of the final product with respect to the specification condition. The beauty of the system is the fully flexible system which can be installed in both new and existing home and office. Hardware part testing. When power supply is connected to the circuit operates successfully. There include the power indicate, the model, PIC microcontroller and sensor. Usually there is the delay about 10 seconds in getting connection of GSM networks by GSM module. Mobile phone to GSM module. GSM module sends back to the SMS. During this testing, no problem degrading the function of hardware encountered. Software part testing. The program is had been found to be working successfully. Once a source code has been written, it is compiled to generate the HEX file. The PIC program is used to burn the code into PIC 16F877A. Chapter 8 Validation. Compatibility with environment and sustainability. There are three areas where need to represent different reasons why intelligent house might be attractive to consumer. They are saving cash, environment, and energy, making everyday life easier, making the house seems luxury and high tech. Chapter 9 Conclusion. Discussion in this is paper a low cost flexible wireless solution to the home automation in introduced. The novel approach is this paper discusses the migration of the initial control mechanism of devices with simple functionality to more complex devices. The system is secured to for access from outside through SMS with protection code. Pros and cons. Pros. The communication is solely implemented using SMS protocol, which is available at most of at places. It does not rely on the internet and web servers, which cuts down the overhead and the cost of the communication. Cons at command. AT command is somewhat devices depend. So to permit device from multiple vendor and multiple models, it may be necessary to alter the command accordingly. It is designed for bidirectly communication that the communication can start from any of two ends. But here the communication always start with command from the computer's end. Bluetooth offers a global standard for connecting a wide range of devices with different services. So using a Bluetooth protocol at the bottom makes on application somewhere versatile in terms of interoperability. The technology is very easy to use. The device generally come with built-in software support for Bluetooth operation, and these are most commonly used application for handheld device. Cons- One, one of the major limitations of Bluetooth technology it is short range of operation. Our solution does not need internet, which is not secure and reliable media. This is first solution of kind that use mobile devices, which are commonly by everyone nowadays. Finish.